All right, so let's continue modeling. So right now we need to create the neon signs. So I'm going to show you two methods of how you can do this. One is by using vector files, and one is by simply adding a text file into our scene. So let's first try the vector file. So let's go to File, Import, click on Scalable Vector Graphics.svg. Let's go to the Blender course files. Let's go to Textures and click on the Matte Paint logo. So now I'll just select these two paths, which is curves. Basically what SVG or vector path file does, it creates curve paths in our scene. So right now I need to convert those from curves into objects. So to do that, go to Object while in Object mode. And I'll go to Convert Mesh from Curve, Meta, Surface, or Text. Let's repeat the process for the other one. Convert Mesh from Curve to Text. Now let's join them in, so we'll have them as one mesh together. Let me rotate this on the x-axis and let's make it 90 degrees, like so. Let's go to front view and let's position it a little bit to the center, like this. Now I'm going to add a plane to the scene and I'm going to rotate it to be on 90 degrees. Like so. Let me bring this one a little bit to the back. Go to front view. Now let's scale it out. And let's move it in somewhere around here. Like this. Now press Tab. Press 3 to select faces and then subdivide it 3 times to 3. Now press right click, triangulate the faces. Let's add a wireframe modifier and exit from edit mode to object mode. And let's decrease the thickness just a little bit. Click on apply, so we'll have that. Let's go to top view and let's go to wireframe mode. Now press G and Y to bring this one a bit closer to this plane, like this. So now let's add a cube to the scene. Let's go to front view, press Tab, A, then G and Z, and hold Control so our origin point is underneath the cube. Now press Tab again to go back to object mode, press S to scale it down, like so. Now let's move this to the side, somewhere around here. Press Tab again, then press G and Z to scale this one out. And let's move this one a bit back from the wireframe modifier that we had. Now let's add a duplicate of this by using the array modifier. So I'll just move this one to the side, like so. And before I click apply, I'll just press Tab on this one. Let's add one loop cut, then G and Z, move it down. Now let's extrude this face and this one as well. Press 2. Let's move this one down by selecting the edge and this one as well. So we have this. And now let's add an additional cube. And let's make this one a bit smaller. Move this to the side and let's scale it out. So let me move this one a bit to the side, like this. I'll scale it down just a little bit more so it doesn't look so big, like this. And I'm going to select that object, add an array modifier, change direction to be on Z. And let's make this one to be -8, like so. And let's add 5 to this. Perfect. And click on apply. Apply this one as well. Now I'll select this object and I'll move this one back just a little bit so it's behind the wireframe modifier, like this. And I'll just select this two, this two, and move them front. Perfect. So now this was the way to create one way using vectors to create neon signs. So let me organize this. I'll name this one collection neon sign 01. Let me bring this one in. I'll call this one logo. I'll join these two together and name them frame. And I'll name this plane wireframe. I don't need this collection which was created from the SVG, so I'll just hide that. So another way to do neon signs is to use the text file. So to do that, just press Shift-A, click on text, and now if I press Tab, I can press the backspace and I can type anything. So let's type in something very specific. So something like this. And let's just say I want to change the font to this. To do that, click on the A icon, which is the object properties for the text file. Let's go to font. Click on this folder right here and type in MS Gothic for an example. And right now, if I go to Google Translate, I can type in, for example, like pixels. And in advance, I apologize if this is not the correct translation from English to Japanese. So I'm just going to copy this text and I'll bring this back and press Ctrl V. And then I'm going to press Tab to go back to object mode. I'll press R and X to rotate it like this, make it 90 degrees, like so. Let's bring it up just a little bit. Now let's add a new modifier to this called a solidify modifier. Well, with this, we can increase the thickness of the object. So hit apply once you're satisfied. Oh, before I add the solidify modifier, I need to convert the text file to be a mesh. So right now I can add the solidify modifier and let's increase the thickness and hit apply. So now it's good. And now if I press tab, you'll see that everything that was from the text file, it basically created a triangle faces from it. So we don't need to worry about that because we're not going to UV anything from this ones. We're just going to use Smart UV and wrap. So let's go and add a cube. Let's go to front view, scale this one down, and let's press tab and A, then G and C to scale the object up from the origin point. Let's bring it into position, scale it down. Now press tab, select the top face, and let's extrude it out like so. Let me bring this one just a little bit back. Let's scale it down just a little bit more so it doesn't look so thick. Now again, I'll just add an array modifier, go to front view. Now let's move the distance. Let's make this one 4. And let's change the offset somewhere around here, hit apply. Now let's add a new cube. Let's scale it down. Let's move this one to the side somewhere around here. Scale it to the side on the x-axis, like so. And now let's add an array modifier, change the direction again to be from x to z. Let's make this one to be -4. Let's make it by 8. That's too much, so I'll just use this arrow key to reduce the count. And there we go. So let me create a new collection right here. Name this one Neon Sign 02. Let me grab these objects and move them in. And let's join these two together. Name them wire. Oh, forgot to bake in the array modifier here. So I'll just join them in. Name this one frame. And this one I'll just leave it as text. So now that we have that, let's move on to make the bridge, which is going to go all over our scene.